neighborhood unlike any we have profiled before.
Nature is its signature. It's also its challenge.
Welcome to Scenic Loop Helotes Creek in this edition of Know My Neighborhood.
Hello and welcome to KSAT's latest episode of Know My Neighborhood. Tonight we're introducing you to part of the Texas Hill Country, an area not far from San Antonio, but it feels far from the hustle and bustle of the city.
And that's part of the reason why the Scenic Loop Helotes Creek Alliance has come together to protect what they know and love about where they live. Plus, they say they're protecting San Antonio's drinking water supply while they're at it. This is a live look with Drone 12 high above the land that some of these families have owned for generations. And tonight we welcome you inside the Gray Moss Inn here in this neighborhood, and it is an iconic place. It is the hub of this neighborhood and this alliance that has come together, and there's so much history here.
This place goes back to 1929. It was home to fine dining and celebrations of all kinds. Still is. There's one going on behind us right now.
Yeah.
But it closed down during the pandemic. It's since reopened. It's under new ownership, and they have something new on the menu, this time Mexican food.
Yeah, it smells great in here. That's all I can say. All right, let's give you the parameters of what we're talking about when we talk about this neighborhood. We are in the Gray Moss Inn. It sits along Scenic Loop Road. And the boundary of this alliance that we're talking about really goes from Babcock to Bandera. The Scenic Loop, the main thoroughfare here, it consists of about 1,000 homes sitting on about 1,000 acres. And here's the thing. This is, by land space, the largest neighborhood registered with the city of San Antonio.
And tonight you're going to hear from people who tell us why they love living here, but also some of what their challenges are. So giving us introductions to all of that are two people who have very different connections to this neighborhood. One who has family roots that go back generation after generation, and another who found his property at the right time.
So this was your dream?
This was my dream, yeah.
It's so nice to be out here because the minute you turn on to Scenic Loop, there's a total drop in noise.
Being able to live here in this tranquility gives me energy every day.
Yeah. The only one who's going to interrupt you are the chickens.
Yep.
There's a lot that we can take advantage of and still maintain a real rural living.
Is that hard, getting harder and harder? Though?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Traffic, the buildup of just the number of people. It's a balance between understanding that people want to be here, and yet saying to them, okay, but you're going to have to not overwhelm the environment because it's fragile.
Yeah.
So managing that development, which you said was the goal of the Alliance, it sounds like it's faced challenges.
We're going through one challenge right now with a ranch called Wahalote Ranch. We fought this tooth and nail with TCEQ.
That impacts all of San Antonio.
Do you feel like you're being listened to?
No.
We're not saying don't do it, we're saying do it right.
But I also want to know what you think the biggest misconceptions are about this neighborhood.
Most people out here are hardworking people who have either spent their lives building up to get here, or they've been lucky enough to inherit, but now the struggle is to keep what they inherited.
And you're already seeing, not because of future potential development here, but development that's happening around you.
Yes.
Scenic Loop is the only road between I-10 and Bandera Road, between 1604 and Highway 46, 15 miles north of here. If a developer wants to put 3,000 homes on a one-lane road 5 miles from any major arterial corridor, and then not fund the expansion of that one-lane road, we don't have a good answer for the traffic.
Is there anything else that you think people need to know about your neighborhood?
If you grow up with it, you know, it just becomes something that you really treasure.
What I want to see in 50 years, everything has grown up around us, developed around us. Everybody's happy, as long as we still have the tranquility of our neighborhood.
It's not just, we don't want you in our pretty little neighborhood. It's, we don't want to lose an environment that we could never get back if it's gone.
You heard Lisa talk about what it's like growing up here. Well, she and a lot of other people that you'll hear from tonight, they have so many stories about what it's been like to live here that have been handed down generation after generation.
Yeah, and it's those bits of shared history that link them to their ancestors and link them to this land, and that is why they are so determined to keep it pristine and the way it is as long as they can. They know development is coming, but they want it to be responsible development. That's what they kept telling us over and over again. By the way, in case you're just joining us, we're at the Gray Moss Inn, and we're having a blast.
Yeah, there are parties going on out here. In this place, it's a historic, nostalgic place, even for people not in this neighborhood. Before we got started with this broadcast tonight, we were talking about who went here before prom. Me, Eddie, photographer. A bunch of people in San Antonio did. Adam Caskey is out enjoying this old restaurant and all of the history it has to offer.
And some music. Adam.
Yes, and little known fact, a KSAT reporter got engaged here many years ago, so another close tie. Marilyn Morris. I'll give it away. Yes. Anyway, she just told me that story. Yeah, we moved outside. It's nice out because there's such a good canopy of trees here outside the Gray Moss Inn. I mean, I love everything inside and the history and how quaint and comfortable it is, but we just got the band to show up, so it's starting to pick up out here. And a lot of families coming in to eat, picked up the kids from daycare, school, whatever, and yeah, they're coming to chow down and have a good night and have a good evening. Yes. All right, I do want to point out, mold is low for a change. It's been elevated for several days. It finally dropped, something that the sun and the heat has been able to do. Any consolation to the sun and heat is that it dropped our mold count. The only other allergen is grass, and that's low today. If Spanish moss had a pollen and was an allergen, I think we'd be sniffling where we are right here underneath these big trees. Well, we're going to talk about the heat and how much we're going to crank it up over the weekend, and not just the heat, but of course the humidity. We're not getting a break from it. It's very high, and that's going to impact the heat index. We'll get into all of that and even some storm chances in just a few minutes.
All right, we will see you then. Thank you, Adam. If you are just joining us, you are watching Know My Neighborhood. We are out here in the scenic Loop Helotes area, and we are just getting started. This neighborhood is exactly as its name suggests. It is scenic, it is beautiful, it's green and pristine. People depend on a 2-lane road going through this neighborhood, though, to get in and out. But there's development on either end, and it's forcing more traffic onto Scenic Loop, and that's causing some problems. We're going to tell you that story in just a bit.
And plus, there's one builder who's trying to bring thousands of new homes to the area, but neighbors aren't negotiating when it comes to protecting their natural resources. We're talking about water, what they want to be done before developers draw up their plans, and how activism has delayed that project. You're watching Know My Neighborhood. Welcome back to the Scenic Loop Helotes Creek Neighborhood Alliance. We are coming to you live for Know My Neighborhood inside the Gray Moss Inn. And you talk to a lot of neighbors, Myra, you and I both did, and there is one common theme that seems to be prevalent, or should I say one common flow: water.
Yeah, people here are very water conscious, and for good reason. It has a lot to do with where this neighborhood is situated. It turns out anything that happens in this neighborhood could eventually impact all of San Antonio's drinking water.
Yeah, Justin Horn explains how this controversy has started, how the protest is being carried out, and why even though this isn't technically within the city of San Antonio limits, San Antonio's paying attention.
We've been approached by developers ever since I can remember.
After all, properties along Scenic Loop are exactly that, scenic.
It's rural, it's peaceful, it's a natural setting.
And coveted.
The more I thought about it, the more I realized I didn't want to ever sell.
This 35-acre property has been Elisa Murray's Pax family for 60 years. And like many of her neighbors, she's intent on preserving the natural beauty of her property.
And because you're doing that, people in San Antonio have clean drinking water, right?
Yes. Very obviously, they benefit from my stewardship.
With this in mind, for decades now, the city of San Antonio has been running the Edwards Aquifer Protection Program. In very simple terms, the city buys up, for many years with taxpayer money, easements over the contributing and recharge zones of the aquifer from Bexar to Uvalde County. It means the landowners keep the land, but promise not to sell it to developers or add anything that would contaminate the water below. By most accounts, it's been a success story.
We have over almost 130 conservation easements now, over 182,000 acres over a 6-county target area.
So when Lisa was approached to join,
No brainer at all, just immediately.
This is Helotes Creek, and that's why this property is so important. In many cases, this is a direct portal to the aquifer. Water feeds right into it. It's also why the city thought this property was so important to be part of the program.
Lisa's property in particular has quite a bit of frontage along Helotes Creek, so whatever's happening on her property matters to the quality of the aquifer just downstream.
while several other neighbors are also in the Aquifer Protection Program, not everyone has taken this path. Keep in mind, developers will pay big money. Recently, reporter Patty Santos highlighted a controversial potential development along Scenic Loop led by Lennar Homes. It called for thousands of houses to be built on Guajolote Ranch.
Plans for a new neighborhood call for more than 1 million gallons of treated wastewater to be dumped behind Michael Schick's house, but only if the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality approves the permit.
And it's not just people who live downstream in Gray Forest or in Helotes. It's affecting the water of 2 million people in San Antonio.
Why would you allow one hand of your governing body to spend all this money, taxpayer money, to protect the water, and then turn around on the other hand and allow somebody to come in and mess it up?
It's a topic neighbors here are passionate about.
And you have all this impervious cover, you destroy the trees, you are going to add at least 1 million gallons of wastewater a day down the creek.
It's no surprise that water is at the heart of this debate, and this neighborhood is not backing down.
And you guys are going to keep fighting this.
Oh, absolutely.
And Justin joins us here live now. And Justin, it's not just neighbors who are against this project.
You're right. Mayor Ron Nirenberg and Metro Health have expressed some concerns about this development as well. So we'll have to see what comes with that. There's going to be more discussions, I think, in the future. And we did, by the way, reach out to Lennar Homes. We haven't heard back from them yet.
This is such a beautiful area. Great trees, great landscape, the hills, but it's what's underneath that we really need to be paying attention to.
It's so true. And there's one common current I've noticed with this neighborhood, no pun intended, and that's water. They're all concerned about water.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, thank you.
Thank you, Justin. All right, let's go to Drone 12 right now and give you kind of a look over the Scenic Loop, Helotes Creek Alliance, where we are live, and I get that's a look at Scenic Loop itself. And you're wondering why these cars are going so slow? They better, because through Gray Forest, the speed limit is 20 miles an hour, and I can tell you, we have seen at least 2 or 3 Gray Forest units that are heavily patrolling. They do not want you speeding through Scenic Loop.
We've also seen them pulling some folks over. So if you're headed out this way, remember, 20 or 40 miles an hour. Okay, let's find Adam Caskey. He is somewhere, always going full speed. Adam, what are you up to?
Well, first of all, no Justin Horn. I did not get a ticket on my way in. He was like, I was trying to make bets. What's the over-under on Caskey getting pulled over? I was going 20. Okay, anyway. Anything but 20. 93 now our temperature is up to out here, 93 degrees. And that right there, my friends, is one fine instrument. Accurate, very accurate. And I do have a thermometer Thursday coming up at 6:45. But let's chat weather and forecast out here. 96 degrees, that was our high temperature again today. So obviously feeling the heat. Above average, but not record breaking, at least not yet. The record, 99 degrees. The record this weekend is 100, and I think we'll get there, particularly on Sunday. You look at the high temperatures today, and it's more of the same, kind of like what we had the past few days. 102 Del Rio for the high temperature, 106 Laredo, 106 Carrizo Springs, the triple-digit heat, especially closer to the Rio Grande, typically warmer locations. Here's that high temperature trend. 100 is what we're expecting this weekend. Now, our first triple-digit day of the year should come, if not Saturday, probably coming on Sunday. The average first 100-degree day is June 26th in San Antonio. So obviously we're very ahead of schedule this year. But temperatures trim back a little bit by the early to middle part of next week down to the mid-90s, still above average, but at least they trim back. Here's the details for tomorrow. Low gray clouds in the morning again. That's the pattern we're in. It's common for us. 78 degrees at sunrise. By noon, we're going to start creeping near 90 degrees with partial clearing, and then sunshine into the afternoon, but that hazy sunshine. By the way, 6:45, we're going to talk about that haze and what else is in our air other than this humidity to cause it. Notice the high temperature, 98 tomorrow, but when you factor in the humidity, that peak number, it's going to feel like 109. So feeling like 109 when you factor in this high mugginess that we just can't get a break from. Tomorrow afternoon, south of Highway 90, likely in the triple digits. South side near Stinson, 100 degrees, 103 in Pleasanton. But here's the kicker, of course, when you factor in the humidity, feeling like 109 in Pleasanton and feeling like 110 at Stinson on the south side. Upper level high, the Big Blue H, it's still influencing us. It's centered just to the south, and that's why, because it moved southward, we had those storms off to the north of us the past couple of nights, but unfortunately we couldn't tap into any of that moisture. Weak cool front drops in late Monday, Memorial Day. That gives us a little bit of hope, just a sliver of hope for a few showers and storms late Monday, and then daily thereafter with an upper level shift in our wind, we can't rule out daily 20% chance of storms. 7-day forecast does show our mornings dropping off a little bit as well. We've had these very warm mornings into the upper 70s. They'll be dropping down into the low to mid 70s. You know, it's that time of year where we often don't get a big fluctuation. Where'd my friend Vera go? Where's Vera? Vera! Vera, come on over here. Come on over here. How old are you, Vera? Oh, well, can you at least, you're 3? 3? Can you wave and say hi? Oh, hi, hi, hi.
Can you blow a kiss?
Blow a kiss to everybody. Say back to you. A little shy, we're working on the camera skills, but yeah, she was good.
Oh, I love it.
I like how she just like, hey, I'm just going to sit down here.
You know what? Everybody's feeling good on the patio.
Sit down and be comfortable.
It's a good night to be on a patio.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Up next, we're going to take you on a ride along up and down Scenic Loop Road itself. What drivers here are dealing with daily and what they want to see done about it. You're watching Know My Neighborhood.
Welcome back to Know My Neighborhood, coming to you live here from the Gray Moss Inn. We've talked a little bit about Scenic Loop Road that runs right through this neighborhood, and it's really the only way for neighbors to get anywhere.
Yeah, and the winding roads and the increased traffic make even getting out of your driveway dangerous. Our RJ Mark has talked to a local homeowner who took him on a tour, and she says this could be the start of something even more troublesome.
All right, seatbelts on?
Yep.
Okay, safety first.
Good to go.
Awesome.
And we're off, hitting the road with Amanda Rico, who lives in a neighborhood off Scenic Loop Road.
It takes me 12 minutes just to get out of the neighborhood, and so then you add on to that for commute time.
Amanda works downtown and is one of many drivers who use Scenic Loop between I-10 near Leon Springs and Bandera Road. What are just your general thoughts on having to drive through and around that area?
It can be challenging, especially because there's a variation in speeds. You'll go from 40 and then you drastically drop to 20.
Bexar County manages Scenic Loop Road outside Gray Forest. They tell us that over the past 3.5 years, they've given 149 tickets for traffic violations and responded to 24 crashes. In Gray Forest, where the speed limit is 20 miles per hour, officers are usually seen waiting on the road.
It feels like there's someone here every single day, at least from my perspective.
There are about 120 homes with driveways or front yards right off of Scenic Loop Road.
So the hills are different, the curves are different too, versus in the city you kind of have like very straight roads. These are a little bit more of a winding, so you have blind spots.
Add in speeding drivers and more traffic.
You're kind of putting a lot of people in danger, whether it's someone taking their trash out or there are kids that still reside in this neighborhood. You're also with several bikers. There's several deers. You said turkeys earlier. There are turkeys.
The location, landscape, and wildlife are what draws newcomers to the area, but with growth comes new issues, including a long line of construction crews waiting to start the day.
They line up on Scenic Loop, so it's like you're competing with them, your regular traffic, as well as like school traffic and buses.
Scenic Loop Road has been around for more than 100 years. There have been attempts to widen the two-lane road in the past, so we asked Bexar County if there are current plans. They said that they don't have any. With the constant development surrounding Scenic Loop, navigating the area is tricky.
Like maybe a few weekends ago, we were in literally this area, Babcock Scenic Loop, stuck for almost an hour and a half.
And balancing the progression and preservation is tough.
It kind of like made me sad when they built the QT though, because it doesn't feel like it's country anymore. It now feels like it's part of the city.
What are some things that you would like to see?
I think it's really just infrastructure and awareness and maybe regulating speeds. I felt like before, I felt like I was in the city but still out of it.
Yeah.
But this takes away from like, I don't know, the naturalness of this area.
You know, you heard it from some of the neighbors earlier. They told us they don't have a solution to these traffic issues.
Yeah, stuck in traffic for an hour and a half.
Ouch.
Now, I know that some of the projects that are impacting this area have to do with, well, all of it really has to do with the I-10 Loop 1604 interchange and some of the improvements that they're trying to make there. Hopefully the improvements they make there will take some of the traffic away from Scenic Loop and Babcock and Bandera, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Of course, we'll continue to track it here on KSAT 12 through Know My Neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we're just getting started with this edition. Coming up in the next half hour of Know My Neighborhood, we've typed concerns, and coming up, we're going to talk creativity, how some landowners have come up with cool ways to help maintain their property, and one of them is zip lining. That story coming up.
You don't want to miss David Sears doing that.
You do
Plus,
not.
the history that gets handed down here through generations, that is something that neighbors cherish. They celebrate that. We take a look at some of the landmarks and the beauty of this neighborhood next.
Smooth operator. Welcome back to Know My Neighborhood. Tonight we are coming to you live from the Gray Moss Inn in Gray Forest. We've talked about some of the concerns that the Scenic Loop, Helotes Creek Alliance neighbors have, but there's more to this area than what we've touched on so far.
Yeah, every neighborhood has its own history, right? But the water and the nature here have as much to do with this neighborhood's history as any dates on paper. And part of the story of this neighborhood is also the Madla Ranch, the ranch where the famous South Texas Senator Frank Madla Jr. was raised. So I went on a driving tour and did a little off-roading to go check it all out.
How did you all get to become the history experts?
Somebody's got to do it. Someone said, why don't you be the history expert? An interesting tidbit is that the largest dinosaurs known to man lived in this area. So we're very fortunate that we have that piece of history as well as the Indian history and then the later. There were this small group of people that braved it in the early days. But it wasn't until 1871 that people started sort of coming in.
I'm Myra. Myra Arthur. Very nice to meet you.
Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. My house is sitting right up there. The story of the Blue Hole and how it came to be happens way back in the Miocene era. And this is Martinez Mountain. My house is sitting right up there. Right underneath my living room is a cave called Blue Hole Cave number 1. About halfway down this hill, there's a second cave, Blue Hole number 2.
It eventually became a swimming hole that people out here enjoy.
Absolutely.
Going up to the intersection and take a right. This is Madla Ranch.
They ran it for about 40, almost 50 years. The Madla Campground. Beautiful piece of water.
It was originally just for families to go and camp for the weekend and that kind of thing, and then people began to stay.
Okay, let's come up this way, Mike. What we're looking at here is a collapsed karst feature, and it is absolutely spectacular when the water is running because you have the waterfalls that double cascade over this into this pond.
So as neighbors, how do you all discover all of this stuff?
Walking.
Walking.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to go next, is the Krempkow house. William Krempkow, in the history of San Antonio, who owned this ranch, Rancho de los Helotes. He went up the trail with cattle at the age of 16 and made enough money to buy this ranch. He never lived full-time here at the ranch. He lived in San Antonio.
What kind of entertaining did he do here?
He was apparently big on frying chicken. He would have big chicken dinners out here and game dinners too, and invite all of his friends.
In 1962, we incorporated into the city of Gray Forest because we didn't want San Antonio to take us, and they would have.
In 2009, Preservation Texas named this corridor, the Scenic Loop Bernie Stage Corridor, as one of the most endangered historic places in Texas. That's going to be your signature shot right there.
Yes.
In ruins now, but they're WPA era, 1930.
It was the pool. You know, it's obviously a swimming pool.
Yeah. So do people still swim in it?
Oh, yes.
We would if it was clean. If we had a gully washer, we could get that out.
Do you feel like you're still finding new things or new information?
All the time. All the time.
There's a lot to explore.
There is a whole lot to explore.
So much to explore out here.
I love that. He had big chicken dinners. Forget Colonel Sanders, we could have Colonel Krempkow.
Wouldn't you love to have a second house just for frying chicken?
Yeah.
I would.
Game dinners? Yeah.
There is so much history and so much of that in this neighborhood. It's all rooted in family. And a lot of the families here have found ways to maintain and preserve their family land by allowing other people to come out and enjoy it.
Yeah, and that includes the Madla family, who you just heard about. Our David Sears went on quite the adventure as he went, how can I say this, zip-lining his way over the hilltops of Helotes. Take a look.
About as close to flying that you're going to get without a plane or, parachute or anything like that.
You sit down in a harness, cross your legs, and then take off. A smooth ride down a cable that stretches hundreds of feet over the serene landscape of Helotes. You can zip along up to 42 miles an hour. May not sound fast, but it is.
And a lot of people go, well, that's not very fast. I said, well, let me strap you to the front of the car and I'll accelerate to 40 miles an hour and hit the brakes and we got to stop, and you tell me if it's not fast.
There are 10 lines, and that includes the practice run. You can take off from the ground or climb towers as tall as 110 feet to start your excursion, eventually ending up back at home base. Not only is zip lining an incredible way to experience the beauty of the hill country, but it's also a very unique way to preserve this land that's been in this family for generations. Here we go.
My great-great-grandfather came over from, I believe, Poland, and then they purchased the property in smaller sections or smaller acreage, and then they had it mainly, I believe it was for farming and agricultural purposes.
By the time the Madla family finished buying land, they had 1,200 acres of hill country. Over the years, the land has been divided up and passed down. Some families sold theirs, others held on to theirs, which means sections have been in the family for 7 generations. In order to maintain it, Rodney Madla and his sister Michelle wanted to take 68 acres, create a financial impact for the family, while keeping the impact on the environment low.
Zipline is kind of a low impact as far as the land is concerned. We've looked at UTVs, ATVs, but it's kind of hard on the property. So ziplining, once you have your infrastructure in, it's pretty simple to maintain the land.
The zip line allows visitors to enjoy the isolation of the hill country. Magnificent 360-degree views.
A lot of wildlife out here that is being displaced because of the development, and so that being said, we try to at least maintain them.
There you go. They also offer another opportunity for guests to enjoy the great outdoors, a game rising in popularity, disc golf. It's the one form of entertainment that gives a great view and keeps you on the ground. After visitors have enjoyed a day of play, they can top it off with a seat and a drink at the beer garden. And then zip back another day to do it all over again.
All right, come on up. I got you. I'm getting closer every time. I got you. Step on up here. Keep stepping. All right.
That looked awesome.
From now on, I would like to be referred to as Daredevil Dave.
I like that.
If you guys can do that for me.
From here on
Super
out.
Dave is already taken, so Daredevil Dave is what we'll go with. Yeah.
Yes, it was awesome. There's the first couple of times you do it like this rush of adrenaline, your heart kind of pounding, but then you start relaxing a little bit on the next 2 or 3 and just looking around. And what an incredible way to view the hill country. And you got the little handbrakes. You can go kind of as fast and slow as you want and just enjoy the ride. It was unbelievable. I love it. Awesome.
It's a cool way to keep this land the way it is, right?
And before we let you go, David, you've been an important part of Know My Neighborhood. I know you announced your retirement. I just want to let you know that I am and forever will be a David Sears fan.
Thank you very much.
All right?
We all are.
Thank you.
We all are, buddy.
I didn't want it to go unannounced. I didn't want it to go untalked about.
Real quick, let me say, this is one of the best things I've ever seen us do on a consistent basis is get out in these neighborhoods and let the people of the neighborhood tell their stories. And I know this is going to continue for years to come because this is just a great way to be in the community and let them tell us what they think about their community. So awesome. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. So
I'm glad that you survived the zip lining.
Yes, so,
yeah.
Daredevil Dave.
It's hollering for me. It's the woo on the way down. Know My Neighborhood continues right after this.
Listen, all you have to do is drive down Scenic Loop, and you know that this is a neighborhood with a lot of character. And I'm not just talking about the people, I'm not talking about characters, character. As a matter of fact, some of these properties are so unique, they also have a little bit of mystery surrounding them.
Oh yeah, you'll do a double take when you drive through this neighborhood. Some of those property owners invited our Marilyn Moritz to come in and tell those stories, so all aboard.
It's quirky and off the beaten track.
This car was built in the 50s, so it's the newest of the three.
Mike Robert is the giddy owner of a dusty old dining car and 2 cabooses.
We're going to restore them inside back to their period grace and glory. So I've taken them right down to the studs. So if you want to come on in and see. But you can see here the actual rear conductors stand right there where they would have a chair so they could look out the windows. So we've taken this one down as well. You can actually see this one's got the bunk bed still in it and the conductor chair.
Trains don't even run these parts. Robert says 2 entrepreneurs brought them to Scenic Loop in the 80s.
They were going to build a restaurant and just really never got to it.
He bought the property a few years ago, but his intrigue goes way back.
I first saw them in 1993 when I moved here to San Antonio and fell in love with the whole concept and thought, wow, what crazy person owns these, or what are they going to do with them? Well, fast forward 28 years, almost 30 years, I'm that crazy guy.
Imaginative is more like it.
I knew the day I bought these, I literally went home that night and drew this house.
A house that will make you do a double take. It appears the train is actually pulling into the station. Robert is a custom home builder.
Welcome in.
And this will now become his office showroom.
We really try to keep that train station, that depot vibe.
For a neighborhood that's not terribly populated, you might be surprised to learn there is more than one house that's a little off the rails. Follow me. Your home, lovely.
Thank you. This is the living room.
Kat Olin's house was built in the 50s around a hidden treasure.
I understand, as I was told by the previous owner, this was brought out here for $100 in 1933.
It's an old streetcar, now a room with a nostalgic groove.
See you later, alligator. Where the saw my baby walking, another man today.
It's like stepping back in time.
That the wood in here is made of mahogany.
Rich wood, antique glass, even the push buttons to request a stop.
If I had all the money in the world, I would expose the outside of it. I'm dying to know what the exterior of it really looks like.
Probably like this. A century ago, Kat's trolley ran the streets of downtown San Antonio until electric streetcars got kicked to the curb in favor of buses.
When you tell people about it, what kind of reactions do you get from people, either when you tell them or if they come over and they see it?
Wow, cool, amazing.
All the way down to the living room windows. Those were once the doors to the streetcar that has reached its final destination.
Neat. Very, I don't know, the whole, nostalgic feel. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, a lot of mysteries solved in this whole thing, Marilyn. And these are people who you can tell they liked sharing those stories.
They really do. And the trolley house that Kat lives in, she's going to live there a while. She's currently fixing it up, but she's entertaining the idea of maybe one day down the road turning it into maybe a short-term rental. And then Mike Robert, the custom home builder, he says maybe down the road also, maybe that would be his trains would be a pretty cool Airbnb type situation.
Yeah.
So,
where do I sign up?
Right now, though, he is working on those trains. He's turning that station into his home offices.
Okay.
And then they're fixing up those trains, and he really very much wants the public to be able at some point soon to come out and look at them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very
Makes
cool.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And down the road for you, we know you've got retirement coming.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a part of Know My Neighborhood, everything at KSAT. And we all strive to be the writer that Marilyn Moritz is.
You're very
Truly.
kind. It's been just a wonderful 39 years of being able to tell a wide range of stories.
Yeah.
And I certainly enjoy the ones like these out here.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have been together for almost 29 of those so far, and I have learned so much from you, and I respect you so much. As a journalist, yes, but more as a person. So I appreciate you.
It's mutual. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marilyn. All right, we're going to be right back with more Know My Neighborhood. We are back live with Know My Neighborhood, live from the Gray Moss Inn. And, the band outside has played everything from Sade to George Strait so far. And we are having a great time inside and out.
Yes, of course, a special day for this broadcast, but it's Thermometer Thursday, which Adam would say is always special. This one, that much more so. Hey, Adam.
Yes, a very important Thermometer Thursday. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I want to give a shout out, Mr. Davis here, who lives a mile down the road. After our 5 p.m. broadcast, decided to walk all the way here just to shake our hand and say hello. So what a perfect opportunity to give him a much-deserved thermometer. And also he used to play on the local Gaelic football team. So a few of the KSAT folks who are on there know him as well through that. Anyway, you can go to ksat.com/thermometer to enter the drawing to win. And I want to give a shout out to Sam. He came by and gave me some of his South Texas Gold. I don't know if it's just I emanate the aura that I like to smoke meat. Good stuff. So thank you, Sam. Thanks to the wonderful people here. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Welcome back to Know My Neighborhood. You are looking at a live shot from Drone 12 high above the Gray Moss Inn here in the scenic loop, Helotes Creek neighborhood.
Yeah, just one of the many, iconic places that you really find in this neighborhood. And it has been so much fun exploring the good, the bad, and the frustrating in this Know My Neighborhood, and just look at how beautiful it is. Like I said, this is the biggest neighborhood by land area registered with the city of San Antonio. Makes it unique.
It's got a lot of green. It's got a lot that they want to preserve out here. This has been a neighborhood unlike any other we have featured. We've got more to come in a minute.
All right, we've been going live here from the Gray Moss Inn, and I want to give a shout out. There's a retirement party. Nicholas, happy retirement. Yeah.
It's a big day for new chapters and for this incredible neighborhood. Thank you for watching.